Good morning, everybody. Taylor here with y'all 106.7, broadcasting from the Red Wing Shoe Studio. And it is holiday season. We love to give back here at y'all 106.7. Here with me today, I have Shanda Tripp, founder of Love from Music City.
Yes.
Welcome to
I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for being one of the ones who are willing to give back during this time of year.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for what you do. Now, for our listeners who don't know, tell us about what Love from Music City is.
Love for Music City is a nonprofit that desires, number one, to change foster care. That's a big one. But we are determined to help every foster child that we can. The foster child is the orphan on our doorstep. We just don't call them orphans in America. We call them foster care children. So unfortunately, the number of foster care children is going up, and it goes up significantly at Christmas time. So we try to give as many children as we can in Middle Tennessee the best Christmas possible.
And it's toys, clothes, resources.
It is. New coat, new tennis shoes, backpack, blanket, pillow, essential items, hat, glove. Then after all of that, they get to pick 5 toys that are what we call medium to small, and then they get to pick 3 large toys. They also get a stuffed animal. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of stuff, but over the years, this is our 13th year.
Wow.
And it has grown every year. So, for instance, James Payne Ministries stepped up to do new coats probably about 5 years ago. The Huckabee Show stepped up and did tennis shoes probably about 4 years ago. So it's kind of like once you start it, you don't want to stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So every year it just kind of adds
Bigger
and
and
adds.
bigger.
And those children go out of the event loaded down, and it's wonderful. I say our volunteers are floating around because it's so joyous.
That's incredible. So 13 years.
13 years.
How did this idea start? Because this was your baby.
I was raised on the mission field. My parents were missionaries to Mexico and to Haiti, and so I was very familiar with orphan work. My parents have had orphanages, and we actually still carry on. We have 3 orphanages in Haiti today. So I'm very familiar with orphan work, and I was actually watching a news story, and that's why a interview like this is very important. You never know who you're going to touch. I'm watching a news story about foster children taking their items from house to house in a trash bag. And we've probably all seen those stories, and it just hit me. I'm like, and they're right here. We live in one of the richest counties in America, and there's children taking their stuff today from house to house in a trash bag. So it just gripped me, and we approached DCS to see how we could get involved. Ultimately, there was a entity called Camelot that actually let us start. DCS was not that crazy about letting us get involved. That's a whole nother story. And so we started with a place called Camelot. They've been really good to us. We started with 60 children. And 10 years later, DCS actually approached us and asked us if we would be the exclusive Christmas provider for Sumner County. And so that was like amazing for us. And we're very honored to do that. And we actually service about 5 counties, and we'll actually have children that come from about a 200-mile radius. We'll have some from Cookeville, Tennessee, some from Clarksville. We've had some come from Kentucky. So if they're a foster child and they get registered, we will service them. We just have to know they're coming.
Okay, that's really great. How would people find more information about, like, if they want to donate?
Yes,
just
ma'am.
online? And
You can go to our website, lovefrommusiccity.org. We're on all social media platforms. And we have some sponsoring businesses. We have boxes in local businesses where people can drop their toys. We also have an Amazon store.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to
wow,
you can Google that.
Amazon.
Yeah, Love for Music City.
Yeah.
And, everyone loves to buy on Amazon, right? So you just pop through there, and it'll come straight to us.
So we're making it really user-friendly. You don't even have to get off your couch.
That's right.
Giving is easy.
That's right.
Now, what is your affiliation this year with Sam's Place? Because they are drop-off locations,
Yes.
and customers who bring a new and unwrapped toy or clothing item will receive a $5 gift card to either restaurant.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Sam's Place has been involved really from the very beginning because someone affiliated with Sam's Place actually worked at Camelot. So they were involved from the very beginning, and they've kind of grown with us, and they've been more and more involved. And what they're doing, the drive they're doing is just amazing. And so I encourage everybody to go out and support.
What is the deadline for this?
Well, the party is December the 8th.
Okay.
That is always the second Sunday in December. We do it every year. But we will service children until December 25th. Last year, we served 60 children after the party. And again, that's because more children are coming into the system. Closer it gets to Christmas, the more children come in because domestic violence goes up, people have financial problems, addiction goes up, and so unfortunately, more kids go into the system. And so we are there to supply what's needed, but it's my desire for children to actually come to the party because we love to give them a carnival experience, just an event that most foster children, no one's taking them to. You know what I mean? We're just wanting to give them a life experience. We want them to know that they're loved, that they're valued, and give them a day they'll never forget.
And a good holiday memory to associate with every year.
Yes.
Is there anything in particular that maybe you need more of this year? Any item? I know you need a lot of things, but is there an influence?
Honestly, it chokes me up to even talk about it, but we always need more teenage boy items. For starters, let me just reiterate, we don't give away anything used. Never anything used. So I also have a son, and I understand that my daughter was way easier to buy for than my son. You know, you're getting the makeup, the nail polish, and the hair stuff for your daughter, and the boys, it's like, ugh. But unfortunately, there are more teenage boys. There are more boys between the ages of 9 and 18 in foster care than any other demographic. And so usually we come up short, and it looks like that's where we're heading this year. So sports balls, you know, football, soccer ball, shave, add a shave. We can't give away razors, but shave, what am I trying to say? You know, the little kits, the deodorants, the colognes. They love ball caps, country music memorabilia, you know, a T-shirt with a name on it, a hockey, sports, yeah, that kind of stuff. So just some ideas, but teenage boys is always a great need.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for clarifying that, too, because it is so easy to buy for girls. I even have 2 nephews, and I'm always like, what do I get them?
Exactly.
You know, so you don't think about the necessities that they need.
That's it. And I hate to say it, but it's just not fun, you know, especially if you're a female shopping. You migrate towards the jewelry and all this stuff for girls. But those teenage boys, and let me just remind you, these teenage boys who are going to be in our communities. They're going to be the men of tomorrow. And so they very much need to feel loved and appreciated and valued.
Is there a price point on this at all? Like a minimum or a maximum so that nobody's getting like a iPod or like, you know.
So I hate to brag on ourselves, but that is the beauty of our concept. We do a toy store, okay? So every child, when I said approximately 5 items in a certain price range, so we will set the toys up by price range.
Okay.
And then depending on how many we have, you know, if we have a lot more of the bigger items, then everyone might get 2 bigger items versus more of the smaller. So, but obviously we usually have more of the inexpensive things, and every child will get to pick. And the crazy thing is, a child may pick a $10 item, where my child, this is what I learned years ago in foster care work, my child would have picked the $100 item like yesterday. Oftentimes the foster kids, they pick items that Play-Doh, art and craft stuff. That's why I started giving every child a stuffed animal, because the stuffed animals and the blankets and the socks were gone, and the $50 Darth Vader and all this stuff, dinosaur stuff, was still sitting there. So I started figuring out that those comfort items is what they all want. So we just give them all the comfort. Everybody gets stuffed animal, everybody gets socks, everybody gets blanket, everybody gets pillow, and then they get to pick the toys. So any price range of any item, we can use it. And then let's say we get bicycles. Ultimate Party in Hendersonville has given us a lot of bicycles, new bikes, gaming stations, flat screen TVs. We do drawings at the end, and it is euphoric. That's my favorite part. When you start doing those drawings and these kids come up, get to pick a toy or get a flat screen or get a gaming station, it's like, you know, and the whole room is just like so exciting. But therefore, we can literally use anything. We actually gave away, we had a custom bowling ball given to us one year by Bowling Alley in Gallatin. And you could, with a certificate to like fit your fingers. And I'm like, who in the world is going to need a bowling ball, right? And I'll be this guy, this young man, he's like 14. He wins it. And lo and behold, guess what? he loved to bowl. That was one of my favorite stories.
Mm.
And you just seeing the look on his face. He just felt so loved, and that had to be one of those Christmas miracles for that to work out. So I'm telling you, as long as it's new, we can use anything.
Santa knew, man.
Santa knew,
is
exactly.
They're everywhere, you know. Believing is seeing, and then there you go. Perfect
That's
example of it. Found its home.
And what a random item.
Yeah.
A bowling ball. You know what I mean? When we first got it, I was like, what am I going to do with this? You know?
Yeah.
But it worked out. So anyone who feels so led to donate any item, as long as they're new, we so appreciate it. And I cannot tell you the difference it makes in a child's life.
Thank you so much for sharing your story and for creating this incredible organization. We're so
really
excited to support. You said you had a lot of sponsors and people that help you put this event on. We want to make sure that we give them some love.
Let me just throw in there that we need volunteers. If you are willing to volunteer, the party is at 4:00, and we need volunteers who will start showing up as early, probably as noon, to be honest. But at 4:00 is when the party starts. So if you are willing to submit to a background check, because this is a private event, because all of these children are federally protected. Their ID is federally protected. So you must be over 18. But if you're willing to submit to a background check, we would love your help. We need a minimum of 100 volunteers for what we do. And then we have amazing sponsors from around the Middle Tennessee area. Sam's Sports Bar and Grill. They have 5 locations all across Middle Tennessee. Patriot Angels, John the Printer, Pony Mailbox Express in Hendersonville Christian Academy, Blown Away Hair Salon. They have been amazing to us. Hendersonville Martial Arts Safaris, and Nothing But Cakes. And if I could just tell you real quick about Nothing But Cakes.
Their cakes are incredible.
Oh, my goodness. Number one, who don't love cake, right? Bunts of Joy for a girl or boy.
Buns of joy for a girl or boy.
There you go.
Nothing but cake.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they are providing bundt cake for all of us at the party, which is
wow.
a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And bundt cakes are not cheap either.
They are not.
Great.
Yeah. It's a marvelous donation. Yeah, we're thankful. So thank you to all the sponsors. Thank you so much for having me on today. Thank you for caring about foster care children, and thank you for what y'all are doing in Middle Tennessee.
Thank you very much. Love from Music City. Get out there, volunteer, and give back this holiday season. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Shanda.
Thank you, Taylor.